Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. God bless. Good to see everybody in here. Oh, it's Stephanie, number one. Hey, PGOA. Hello, hello, hello to you. Much love, much love. Purple Hearts for Summer. God bless. And Gina is number two. Yes, hi, Prayer Garden. Much love to you. Much love to you. More Purple Hearts. Good to see you guys. And Vic is number three. Hello, Prayer Garden mods and chat. Hello, hello to you, sweetie. God bless. Good to see you. And our bucket list has holes. Number four. Hello, at PG. Stephanie, Gina, and Vic. How you doing, sweetie? Good to see you in here. God bless. God bless. There's Miss Foxy. Miss Foxy says, hey, PG in chat. Much love to you. Purple Hearts for Summer. God bless. And let me get on down through here. There's Mara. How you doing tonight, sweetie? Oh, that is beautiful. Absolute prayers for Sebastian to be found. Amen. Amen. Miss Justice, how you doing tonight? How you doing, sweetie? There's Granny's house. Hello, Granny's house. How you doing, hon? Let me get on through here. Mommy is 6. Good to see you. 2 cent. Beautiful sunflower. How you doing, sweetie? I would have loved to have. I'd have loved to have spent more time in Justin's today. I was over there and he had a great life. He had a great life, you guys. SL, how you doing, sweetie? Yeah, full of information, right? Full of information. River Mom, how you doing, sweetie? Brenda, looking beyond. Deputy Sheriff, good to see you in here. SL, I've had a headache for about 60 years, but that boy of mine is about to get his first year chick and hopefully move out. Yeah, I heard that. Hey, Robin, how you doing? D-Lucky, how you doing, sweetie? Second to none, how you doing? Writing solo, good to see you. The legendary. 60 years. That was a good one. That was a good one, Deputy Sheriff. I like that. McBro, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Denise, Blue-Eyed Dumpling. Hey, Brad, how you doing? Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless. Summer's Army. Mods and chat, much love. Oh, that's beautiful. I appreciate that. God bless. Yeah, I tell you. And Janet, how you doing, sweetie? Okay, I think it's Jeanette. I'm sorry, my bad. My bad. Sassy Frets, how you doing? Says, hey, Rexy and Brat. Tammy, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Anyway, I'm going to tell you guys, it's been a long day. It's been a long day, right? Longer than I wanted it to be anyway. Virginia girl, how you doing, sweetie? How you doing? I seen somebody else. Let me see. Okay, I thought I saw somebody else that I hadn't called out, but I think I've called everybody out. Zelda, how you doing, sweetie? Yeah, I don't think there's too many I missed tonight. I don't think there's too many I missed tonight. Oh, that is beautiful, Denise. That is absolutely beautiful. Anyway, it has been a long day. The search out there didn't last long, did it? It didn't take them long to find something. They kind of lined up, went in, and it wasn't too far back in the wooded area that they seemed to have stumbled onto something. It seemed like something was back there, also something rolled up, and I don't know. I'm not sure what it was, but there seemed to be something rolled up back there. And I heard that there was tape found, right? Tape found with, from what they say, blood on it. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. You know, I pray that it's nothing, and Sebastian is still somewhere, right? Somewhere to be found, and brought home. I'm hoping, I'm hoping he's somewhere to be found and brought home. That's what I'm hoping. Our bucket list has holes. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Absolutely. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps. It helps the channel. It helps the channel. And I always ask, that the thumbs up gets hit for summer. It's not for PG. So, even if you don't like PG, please still hit that thumbs up for summer, for this channel that helps keep missing children out there and doing the right thing for the missing. So, you're not doing it for me. You're doing it for them. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Good to see you, hon. Anyway, I'm going to let you hear the update. I'm going to let you hear the update that was put out today for yourself. I'm going to let you hear it for yourself.
Nearly a month since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his Hendersonville home, leaving authorities and community members with questions and concerns. Authorities believe that the autistic teen wandered off with a flashlight and no shoes. Despite the passage of time, the search for Sebastian remains relentless, with community members rallying alongside Sebastian's father in unwavering support. On Saturday, volunteers braved through challenging terrain at Rockland Recreation Area in Hendersonville. They confronted remnants of a tornado that struck the area last December. "It's really difficult to get through," Rachel Berry Stinson said, pointing out the persistent obstacles of fallen trees, debris, and damaged infrastructure. Volunteers like Rachel Berry Stinson are remaining steadfast in their commitment to the search. The search for Sebastian hit close to home. "I actually have 5 boys, so I can't imagine what that would be like," shared Stinson. Joined by others like Kaylee Burgess, volunteers continue to stand with Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, in the hopes of finding clues that could lead to Sebastian's whereabouts. "I can't imagine what he's going through. He has just been asking for help and been involved in the search. The somber side of what we're looking for is difficult," admitted Stinson. "These volunteers are hoping for the best. That's what we're hoping for very soon, that they can bring Sebastian home and there will be closure and resolve," remarked Stinson. "Volunteers did have sent trained dogs out today, and we're told something of interest may have been found. We reached out to the TBI and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and we're told there is no indication that what was found, if anything, is connected to Sebastian's case. Anyone with tips on the case is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
There you go. That's the update. They're not saying what was found. They're not saying whether it was related to possibly Sebastian or not, or even if it was anything. So I guess we're going to have to wait. I do know if they did find something, it takes time. It takes time to confirm. With DNA and so forth and so on, the tests that would need to be ran, it would take time to confirm. So that may be why they're not updating us very quickly. So we'll have to wait and see. I know while all of this was going on, allegedly, there you go. I guess mom and stepdad is hanging out at the local restaurant, right? Christopher and mom are hanging out at a restaurant. As you can see here, close up to him, his face, he doesn't look happy, right? Christopher does not look happy here. And it seems mom is on the phone. She's busy on the phone. So, is this someone updating her, letting her know something was found during the search? Is it her just talking to a friend or maybe a family member? I don't know. But she seems to be busy on the phone, and he doesn't look happy at all. There you go. There you guys go. There's a up close, and as you can see, he's not happy. He's not happy at all. Yeah, he does. He looks worried. And there's mom. She's staring straight at him. She's on the phone, but you can see she's staring straight at him. She's looking right at him. I don't know why, but she is. Hey, Lisa. How you doing, sweetie? And this is the map. This is the map right here of in a car. It would be like 13, I believe, like 13 minutes. Like 13 minutes away from the house to this particular park. If you're driving, 13 minutes. But if you were on foot walking, it would be 2 hours and 30 minutes. 2 hours and 30 minutes on foot. Now with him being barefooted, and nothing but a flashlight, a small, very small flashlight, I say it would be more like 3.5 hours or more, because he would have to keep picking, stuff out of his feet, right? He would probably have to sit down and rest his feet. I'm sure that I'm sure that that would be awful, awful uncomfortable, um, having something in your foot, right? Oh, Granny's house. I appreciate that. God bless. Thank you for covering these kids. Oh, I appreciate you supporting the channel. Absolutely. And God bless. God bless. Um, oh, Candy, I appreciate that. PG, Chris is worried what's being said about him. Oh, yeah, I bet he is. I bet he is. This is not an easy case, is it? It's not an easy case at all. And, you know, anytime a child comes up missing, all eyes, all eyes are on the parents, especially, you know, especially when the child is in your custody, especially when you are the last one, um, seen, seen with the child. Usually, the last person, the last person that law enforcement, suspects of seeing this person, any person, alive, those people become a suspect, right? I mean, even if you didn't do nothing, even if you say, look, when I walked away, that person was, nothing whatsoever was wrong. They were laughing, they were happy. When I left, they were totally and completely, alive. Law enforcement's going to be like, can you give us DNA? Can you give us fingerprints? Can you give us, can you provide us, with your whereabouts? And it just becomes a mess for you. It becomes a mess for you. Now, I mean, and they tried to say, well, we're not, you know, you're not a suspect or anything, because they want you to cooperate, right? They want you to cooperate. They tell you that you're not a suspect or anything. They just, you being the last person seeing the person, they just would like to, get you to take a lie detector's test, give them DNA, fingerprints. I'm like, well, I think that's accusing you, right, of doing. I mean, if you're not a suspect, and they just want you to answer some questions and everything, and cooperate, why are you giving DNA, you know doing all these things, lie detectors test and all of these other things? It's because you are a suspect. You're a suspect. That what law enforcement's doing is ruling people out so they can rule people in, right? They're ruling people out. They can't rule you out without that DNA, without that lie detectors test, without those fingerprints. They can't rule you out. And they need, they do like a rule out system instead of a ruling in system. And, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, but, if you love the person, the person, and you love the person, then you need to cooperate, right? You need to cooperate, especially if you know that you're innocent. You had nothing to do with it. You really need to cooperate. In this particular case, I'm wondering why they didn't do more. I mean, like, they didn't do forensics, right? They didn't do, they might go back and do it. I don't know. They might go back and do it, right? But I would have thought that they would have. That's what I'm saying, is we need a new law. We need a new law when it comes to missing children. When it comes to missing children, we need a new law that the case is treated like a criminal case until the child is found. Um, it's got to be treated like a criminal case because I feel like too much evidence is able to be gotten destroyed. Right? Too much evidence is being able to be destroyed. Um, before law enforcement is doing their job to get the evidence needed, right? I mean, take Quentin's case, for instance. They were on it. They treated Quentin's case like a criminal case. They went in that house. They said, nothing's moving from here. Okay, Miss Babysitter, your vehicle's here. Well, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go home without it. You got to go home without your vehicle. Your vehicle has now been seized by law enforcement, and it will be gone over with a fine-tooth comb, and then you can have it back. You can have it back after we have completely went over it, because it is, since it's on this property, now we put it into, you know, inspection. We put it under, inspection here. And they also went in there, right? They went inside that house with the lights and everything. And I mean, they absolutely knew what they were doing. They interrogated the babysitter, they interrogated, the mother, they interrogated her boyfriend. Quentin's case, and it got solved. It got solved really quick. Why? Because they treated it as a criminal case and wasn't about to lose no evidence. They were not going to lose any evidence in Quentin's case. That law enforcement, man, that is one. I don't know who's running it, but I'm going to tell you what, they know what they're doing. And in Tennessee, it's almost like they dropped the ball, right? It's like they drop the ball. And Chris said that no, they did not. No, they did not, bring the strobe lights in, to see if there was any foul play inside the house. He said they didn't take fingerprints. And they, from my understanding, they haven't even, did any lie detectors test yet, right? They're telling people you don't need to take them. Yeah, you do. I think everybody needs to take a lie detectors test. Stepdad, mom, even dad. Dad should do it as a courtesy because the other two are, right? I think this, Sebastian's biological dad had anything to do with this? No, absolutely not. I do not think that the biological dad had anything to do with what happened to Sebastian. Matter of fact, he has been out there, right? He has been out there doing everything that he can do to find his son. He was there today. He was right there with everyone today, doing all he can for his son. So, with that being said, it don't get no better than that. He's also made sure that billboards are being put up. He's also, yard signs, flyers are being put out. I mean, him and his family are going, the extra miles it's going to take to find what happened to this child. They are really in there doing what is needed. mom and stepdad, mom and stepdad, they're looking a little shady, to say the least. To say the least. I kind of wonder who turned in the tip to have this place searched. I understand that um, Sebastian's biological dad was going to meet up with people today. They were all going to meet up somewhere, and then he said no. Something had came in, and he wasn't going to be able to meet up with everyone. And then everyone met up at this park. Everyone met up at this park. Um, well, I'm going to tell you, I kind of lost faith. I kind of lost faith in law enforcement out there when the little girl was missing, right? The dad and the mom had reached out to us to help find their daughter. And I called the law enforcement, and they said if we want her found, then we need to find her, right? They said if you want her found, then you need to find her. And we did. We did. We all worked together with the mother and the dad, and we found that little girl, right? We found her. Thank goodness, she was found unharmed, returned to her parents, but we found her. And, you know, but law enforcement wasn't going to do their job. They weren't going to do their job. And, um, I don't know. You know, when law enforcement wants to start getting paid and not work, they want to show up, get a paycheck, but not do their job. It's time to disassemble law enforcement and reassemble it, right? With people who are willing to do the job they're hired to do. I don't know what is wrong with Tennessee law enforcement. I don't care for it either. That's my opinion. I don't like it. Um, it's like open season, right? Open season for evil humans and criminals to do what they want, and they know that law enforcement ain't going to work very hard, right? Law enforcement's not going to work very hard to solve the case, right? Unless it's somebody they know, somebody they like, somebody, they'll solve the case if it's somebody close to them, or if it's probably somebody that high profile that's going to get a lot of attention. They might have to work and do their job. But for the average Joe, the average person, it don't sound like you got a prayer of having your case solved if something was to happen. And I sure wouldn't want to live. I wouldn't want to live in an area or community like that. I like to live where I know law enforcement. I like to live where I know law enforcement's going to do what it takes to solve a crime. That no crime goes unpunished. So I'm just saying, Tennessee just it almost doesn't matter what part you're in. It almost doesn't matter what part you're in. The whole entire state seems to you know, seems to not personally care about solving the crimes, that their citizens are paying good tax dollars to get solved, right? Um, what are they doing with the money? Every law enforcement gets funding. Every law enforcement across America gets funding. They get funding to keep, to do everything that they're supposed to be doing. Every last one of them get funded, right? They get tons and tons and tons of our tax dollars to stay funded with. What are they doing? What are they doing with all that funding? What are they doing? They're not solving crimes, that's for sure, because some are still missing. Sebastian is missing, right? Neither one of these kids have been found. I can't say a lot because Eli's missing too, but it seems like law enforcement's working harder. Law enforcement's working harder to solve Eli's case than Summer and Sebastian's. So I don't know. I mean, these people found these searchers found something out there in that wooded area today, right? Now, is law enforcement taking that seriously? Are they taking it seriously or no? Oh, Mama Bear 68, I appreciate that. And grace and peace to you from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Romans 1:7. Oh, God bless you. God bless you. I so appreciate that. I appreciate that. Mama Bear touches my heart all the time. She does. She touches PG's heart in the best way. In the best way. God bless. I appreciate your support for Summer's channel, and God bless you. Oh, that's so sweet, Deputy Sheriff. Mama Bear 68, we appreciate you. Absolutely. Absolutely, we do. God bless. Um, uh, yeah, I agree, Patty. TBI cops are not looking good. Poor kids. God, please move in these cases. I'm telling you, that's why I always say, please, please, please pray for these babies. Please keep them prayers going up for these babies, because especially these babies in Tennessee, right? Especially the ones in Tennessee, because I'm going to tell you, if those cases get solved, baby, I'm going to tell you what, it is God solving them. If it gets solved in Tennessee, it's because of your prayers. It's because you was praying. It's because God heard your voice and he is answering you. That's the only way them cases going to be getting solved. So please keep those prayers going up. Please keep them going up. I know I do. I know I keep them going up. I pray for these children. I pray for these children all the time. I pray for these children. And I ask others to please pray for these children. I'm going to tell you, the best gift in this whole world is to have someone praying for you. The best gift. And you know when someone's praying for you, because your life is getting better. Your life is getting better. That's how you know. That's how you know the things you need start showing up. Right? Whatever you need, a shoulder to lean on, right? Whatever you're praying for, all of a sudden it's just coming out of nowhere. That's how you know people are praying for you. You know it. So Keep those prayers going up. Keep them going up. You know, it's funny if you ever see a child, knilled down at the side of a bed, or you ever see a child, at a church with his little hands folded and praying. If you ever take note, that child prays for everyone. A child will pray for everyone, right? They'll pray for, they'll mention everyone they know, including their pets, in their prayer. The Bible says you gotta be like a child in order to enter the gates of heaven. You gotta be like a child. So and a child prays for everyone, not someone. So when we pray, that's what we should do also. That's what we should do as well. It's hard for me. I'm not saying, this is a 15-year-old child, right? Sebastian is a 15-year-old child. He's a little bit older. He's a little bit older, than the average children, the average age that we cover. A little bit older. But he also was dealing with, he was autistic. So that puts him, okay, he's 15, but really he was like 7, like 7 or 8, right? He wasn't like the normal 15. He was more, he wasn't up to that level like other children would be. But would he walk out of that house? Here's my opinion. This is just my opinion. If you agree with me, you can put a 1 in the chat. But this is just my opinion. I do not think that Sebastian would have took out the trash, I don't think he would have put his shoes on to walk to, just to walk to the curb, to take out the trash, just to walk out to the curb or around the corner to the garage. I don't know if it was putting the garbage all the way on the curb, or if it was just taking some garbage out to around by the garage and throwing it away. But whichever one it was, he put his shoes on. He put his shoes on to go and do that little task, right? Which was right there in his own yard. Now, I do not see this child walking out of that house 2 hours and 30 minutes away with no shoes on. I don't see this little boy walking out of that house just to go out into the street, and look up and down it, or to go out and walk around in the yard. I don't see him not putting on his shoes, right? That's my opinion. And I see that there's so many agreeing with me. Absolutely. Miss Kirby, I don't. I think if he would put on his shoes to just take out that garbage, just to run the garbage out, I truly believe that he would have put on his shoes. I truly believe he would have put on his shoes if he was, if he was going back out. If he was going back out of that house, I truly believe those shoes would have been on that little feller's feet. And, absolutely seems he would have had his shoes on. Yes. Yes. It sounds like that child didn't walk out of that house. It sounds like that child was taken out of that house, if you ask me. That's my opinion. That's my opinion that he was taken out of that house. And whoever took him forgot about shoes, right? They forgot about shoes. I think there'd have been a pair of shoes gone if they would have thought about it. But I think that it was something happening in the moments, and I think it was something happening, so fast, unable to think, um, type type thing, right? And they forgot about shoes until it was too late, right? Oh crap! His shoes are here, so you know, none of his shoes are gone. Um, type thing. That's just my opinion. You know, it's just what I think. It's just what I think. Praying for all the innocent missing babies and all persons. Amen. Absolutely. And then it says he might have his glasses. He might have. No, I'm going to tell you, if this child would have left that house, he would have had his glasses because he couldn't see without them. He would have had his shoes on because he had them on just to take out some garbage. If he'd have went out that door, glasses would have been on, shoes would have been on, and it would have been different. It would have been different, you guys. No way. Yeah, and phone. He leaves without his glasses, his phone, his shoes. No. You know what this sounds like? Um this sounds like a crime scene to me, to me, in my opinion. This sounds like a crime scene where law enforcement shows up, and the woman's pocketbook is still in the house, right? Her pocketbook's still there. Her shoes are still there. Her coat is still there. She's gone, but all of her stuff is still there, right? All of her stuff is still there. And that's what we call foul play, right? That's what we call foul play. That means that, because a woman don't go nowhere without her pocketbook, right? A woman doesn't go anywhere without her pocketbook. If she goes, her purse goes. If it's cold outside, she puts on her coat, she puts on her shoes. She takes her pocketbook, right? Her keys. She takes her keys. So, someone's gone, if they're disappeared, and their keys are there, their pocketbook, their keys, their coat, all their things are there. Um, something not good has happened. And that's what it's seeming like in this case. That's what it looks like in this case. Now, is this a criminal investigation? I don't know. I'm not sure how law enforcement is viewing this case or looking at this case at this time. I don't know. Now mom's the only one. Mom was the only one in the house, supposedly. Supposedly, mom was the only one in the house with this boy, right? Was the mother. Um, you know, was the mother by any chance, was the mother having anyone else in the house, that her and the boy would have knew? Um, Was there anyone else coming over? Was there anyone else coming over to that house, late in the evenings that mom and the son would have knew? Um, that's a question. I don't know. I don't know. Would he have opened a door? Would he have opened a door for someone? I don't know. I don't know, allegedly, you guys, allegedly, there was some neighbor guy that, you know, they say mom had started a little spark with a neighbor guys and one of those neighbor men around there. How true that is, I don't know. I don't know. Could it be true? Well, yes, it could be true. Absolutely, it could be true. Um, I don't know. I do know that they said that. Um, I do know that they said that Sunday. Um, I believe it was on Sunday. Uh, that mom, that mom and him had went to dinner. There's video footage of him and mom going to dinner. Um, is that correct? Am I correct on that? That him and mom had went out to dinner and that was on video um, footage. I believe that's what they said. That they, yeah, oh wow, I'm sure she's going to deny. I'm sure she's going to deny some guy in the neighborhood you know, that she's been possibly flirting with or something. Of course, because I mean, how is her husband? How is her husband going to take that? How is her husband going to view that? Of course, she's going to say it's BS. Um, um, PG, there's a rumor going around that Katie was seeing a neighbor, and he has some footage. Also, Chris is threatening to seek legal action against Seth for searching for his son. So suspicious and cruel. I'm afraid that Sebastian is Seth's son, not Chris's. Chris Chris don't have Chris does not have a son. Christopher does not have a son. Now I listened to Christopher say, my son, my son, my son, um, you know, calling Sebastian his son. No, Sebastian is not your son. Sebastian has a dad. He called you Chris. He did not call you dad because you are not his dad. Sebastian has a dad. His dad's name is Seth Rogers. You are not his biological dad. He didn't even call you dad, Christopher. You had him calling you Mr. Chris. That's not dad. And that means he's not your son. matter of fact, Chris, the boy reported you. The boy reported you for child abuse. He told on you. He told on you for abusing him. And Child Protective Services came out and talked with you. And you took full advantage of this boy's um, disability, his disability, to make him into a liar. To make him into a liar. That's my opinion. But that's exactly what you did, and you know it. Exactly what you did, and you know it. And and I have no respect for the caseworker that came out to follow up, on the abuse that little Sebastian had reported. Now Sebastian's completely missing. Sebastian is completely missing. He was crying out. This boy was crying out for some help because he was feeling abused. He was feeling abused by the stepdad, Christopher. Right? And he let it be known. He voiced himself. He voiced himself to the school system. He had child protective services out there. He voiced this to his grandmother, right? His maternal grandmother. He voiced it to his grandmother. And nobody listened. Nobody listened. Because nobody listens to these children. Law enforcement don't want to listen to these kids. Right? Until something really, 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 really bad happens. Until it's to the point that the child is in a hospital or completely missing, right? Completely missing, like Sebastian is now. Oh, then bam, now you got their attention. Now you have their attention. Now they want to listen. Oh, honey, that's a little too late. It's a little too late. If they would have listened to Sebastian before now, he wouldn't have probably been missing, folks. He probably would not be missing if Child Protective Services would have listened to him when he was crying out for help. But you know what they told him? They said, look, Sebastian, when you get punished for things that you do, when you're being disciplined and you cry wolf because you were disciplined for something, you can get in trouble for that. You, Sebastian, can get in trouble for reporting Mr. Chris for abusing you. You can get in trouble. Well, I don't know who the caseworker was that came there and did whatever he or she did, but how you feel now? How you feel now that this young man is completely missing? How do you feel now? Right? I'm going to tell you, they go out to a home that cost us over $600,000, right? Over $600,000 that's clean corner to corner. And that's because it seems like they made the boy clean it. And I think the boy's job was to keep that place clean. It seems like he was the one having to clean everything. He had to keep his room clean. He had to take out all the garbage. He had to feed the pets. Oh, you don't want to take care of the pets? Well, we got to get rid of them. Right? What the hell was mom and dad doing? What the hell was mom doing? What the hell was Mr. Stepdaddy doing? What was they doing? That's my question. What was they doing? I'm going to tell you something. That little boy had no one to lean on. Those two people in that house were leaning on him. They were suspecting way too much out of a child with special needs, right? They had that child in that house, and they were totally, in my opinion, this is my opinion, from what I've heard out of the parents' mouth, what I've heard out of the parents' mouth, their own mouths, about the way they punished this little boy, I would say it's abuse. I would say, yes, it is abuse. He's, this child is not a normal child, and you cannot treat him like one. You cannot treat him like a normal child. You can't treat him like what you wished you had. Oh, you know, I want a normal kid, and he's going to be treated like a normal kid, or else he's going to be punished. Well, you're going to be punishing him all the time. You're going to be punishing him all the time because he is not normal. He has a disability. The child has a disability. He is autistic, right? He has autism. This is a child that has to be kept on a routine. You have to keep them on a routine. You have to be patient. You have to be kind. You have to be caring. You have to be loving. If you cannot be all of these things and understanding, you have no business. You have no business having this child, because this is the type of child it is. Absolutely, Molly. You have to be nicer and more understanding to kids with autism, Asperger's, and any type of disability. That is like having a child. That is like having a child that wears a leg brace, right? A child that has leg braces, whether it be on one leg or both, and saying, well, you're going to have to keep up or get punished. I don't care if you got leg braces on. You need to walk like every other normal kid walks and run like they run. And if you can't run or walk and keep up, well, we're just going to pull out without you. We're just going to pull out without you. Right? And that's and you know what? I truly believe that Sebastian's mother and Mr. Chris would be sitting on there saying, well, we told him that we don't care if he's wearing leg braces. If he can't keep up, then he just can't go. If he can't keep up, then we're just going to leave without him. Right? It's his job. It's his job to keep up. Right? I'm going to tell you something. Because I've been thinking about this case, y'all. I've been thinking about this case. Usually I don't get into other cases too much. Other than Summers, right? I mean, I got into Quentin's case. Oh, he was so adorable. So adorable. How anyone could do what they done to him, I don't know. I do not know. And I hope justice is served on that baby's behalf. I really do. I hope the law gives Leilani everything that they possibly can give her, and extra if they can, for doing what was done to Quentin. And little Eli, I hope that baby gets as much justice as Quentin does. against that evil man. That evil man that we know abused that little boy. We know for a fact he abused him, making him stand 1 to 3 hours, not changing his diaper once a day. And this little guy's completely disappeared now. God help us, folks. God help us. I don't know what this world's coming to, but it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. But I've gotten into this case with Sebastian. And you all know that I diligently do my homework when I get into a case. And this is one I have. Now, Dad says that he didn't come home till February the 26th after around 3 o'clock. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He said he got there after 1 o'clock. After 1-ish. After 1. Somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock. And he keeps saying there's 3 of us and a whole bunch of you. There's 3 of us and a whole bunch of you. Sir, there's only 2 of you. There's you and your wife. You, who was on the phone that night for 3 hours when she should have been off the phone checking on her son, putting her son to bed. He's autistic. She should have been putting him to bed. You got an autistic child, you should have a monitor in his room. A monitor. So you could hear everything, because autistic children do things that shouldn't be done. Like open doors. Like walk away. Like try to climb up on something and fall and get hurt. Autistic children might turn on a stove. They might turn on an oven. Autistic kids do things. You don't know. You don't know. And they need 24-hour care. They need to be checked on periodically. You're on the phone with this lady for 3 hours. She hears a loud noise and doesn't even bother to see what it was. You hear a loud noise and don't even bother to see what it is. Right? Well, I'm going to go over some things with you guys. I'm going to go over some things with you. I'm going to go over some things with you guys. Trust me. Because I'm going to tell you, I've been keeping record. I've been keeping record of everything. You know, I take the 7th off. Right? I take the 7th off, but I'm going to tell you what. I didn't take the 7th off yesterday too good. I didn't take the 7th off yesterday too good. Because this case is on my mind. Right? It's on my mind. And when something's on my mind, I can't rest. I can't rest. But I'm going to tell you what. If you use shoes to take out the trash, and then shoes, and them shoes were right there inside the front door where he went out, why would he at that point not slide them shoes back on? Chris, Mommy, why would he not put back on his shoes? just took out the garbage, had the shoes on. They're right by the door. He goes out, but he don't put them on again. I call BS. Personally, I call BS. You say it didn't matter if a child called a step-parent dad, mom, as long as the child is not being abused. But it seems you was abusing Sebastian. It seems like you were, Mr. Chris. You were whipping him with a belt, throwing his stuff in the garbage. And even forced, sir. You forced the boy to carry that trash bag to the curb with his prized possessions in it. You forced him to do that. A special needs child, you forced to do that. Why did you show so much anger, Mr. Chris, about your house being clean? Why did you show so much anger about law enforcement and other people taking note that that house was so clean after Sebastian came up missing? Why did you show anger? Why did you touch on that particular topic? Why was that even on your mind? Why was that even still on your mind? That's a red flag to me. That's a red flag to me. And that tells me you don't want strobe lights in that house. That's what that tells me. I hope law enforcement's as smart as PG, because that's what that told me. Yeah, this is just a little bit of it, folks. A little bit of it. I sit back and I listen. And I do my listening diligently. On snakes. Snakes were also removed away from Sebastian by Mr. Chris, right? By Mr. Chris. Why do you want to remove his pets? You say that you had snakes, sir. You say you had snakes. A whole bunch of them. You know, I think these snakes were more your pets than they were Sebastian's. But I think you wanted Sebastian to do your job, feeding and taking care of them. And when Sebastian wasn't going to do your job because he has autism and he doesn't remember to do things like a normal child would. And oh, mommy sure to hell ain't going to do it. Mommy sure to hell ain't going to do it. I'm wondering right now what mommy did do, to be honest. Oh, so all the pets have to go. All of them have to go. I really don't think that bothers Sebastian very much, Mr. Chris. I don't. I think it gave him more time to be a child, not having to worry about feeding your pets that you try to psychologically make him believe was his because you wanted him to be the caretaker instead of you. You wanted him to do your job and take care of your pets by calling them his. Yeah, you think you're crafty. You're not. You absolutely ain't. You absolutely ain't. You definitely relied on that child. You definitely relied on him. And that made this child feel he had no one to rely on. That's why he wanted to be with his dad. Because when he's with his dad and his dad's family, they watched over him. He didn't have to watch over everything for them. He didn't have to do all their chores. He didn't have to do all their chores, you guys. He got to be a child. He got looked over. And you said, oh, well, if it is not important enough for you to take care of, then you don't need it. Well, okay. Well, I can say the same for you and Katie, Mr. Chris. Sebastian, right? Where Sebastian is concerned, I could say the same for you and Katie. You guys have lost a child. You have lost, literally lost this child. You didn't forget to feed it or forget to buy it some clothes or some shoes. You didn't forget to give it lunch money. You lost a whole child. A whole child. You lost a whole child. You had nothing else to look after but that child. And you lost it. Completely gone. How the hell do you do that? What's going to be your punishment? What is going to be your punishment for losing a whole child? I mean, his punishment was he wasn't taking care of the snake, so they got took away. Who's going to take you two away? Who's going to take you two away? Because the baby is completely gone now. That little boy is completely gone. You guys wouldn't take, he can't be taken somewhere else because he's completely missing. So what's your punishment? That's what I want to know. What's their punishment, you guys? What is their punishment? They didn't care enough about that child. They did not care enough about that child to check on it when they heard a loud noise. They did not care enough about this child to make sure it was asleep before they went to bed. They didn't care enough about this child to know if it was inside or outside the house. So you tell me, what is their punishment going to be? They lost the whole child. They were punishing this child all the time. They were punishing this child all the time. And that Mr. Chris said, he said that he whipped Sebastian with a belt because he didn't have a belt. He plainly said that. And then he said, no, I didn't say it. What do you mean? For not having a belt on? No, I whipped him for something else. Well, that makes two whippings because you know what? That makes two whippings we know about with a belt. Because you said you did whip him with a belt because he didn't have a belt on. And you said, no, that wasn't true. You whipped him for something else. Well, you can't say that you whipped him for not having a belt on because that shows that you did. And then he got in trouble again. You had a habit of whooping that boy with a belt. You had a habit of whipping him with a belt. And why did he have to wear a pull-up? When he got to his dad's, he didn't want to wear it. And he didn't need to wear it. His dad said he did not need to wear pull-ups. What, he forgot to, I think that he probably forgot to put the toilet seat up. And his punishment was wearing pull-ups. Because he forgets to put the toilet seat up and back down. So his punishment was pull-ups to embarrass him. To embarrass him. Because if he can go to the bathroom, not wet himself or anything, the whole weekends while he's with his dad, then he ain't doing it at home. If he's having accidents at home, he's going to be having accidents with dad. And he wasn't. And he wasn't. So those pull-ups was a part of a punishment, obviously for something besides wetting himself. And the only thing I could think of besides wetting himself was he was not putting up the toilet seat and putting it back down. That would be what I think, or not wiping it off, the way you wanted him to. I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to tell you, they didn't feel that this little boy was, neither one of them felt that he was as important as a clean room. They didn't see Sebastian as important as they did that clean room. They didn't see him as important as they did taking care of them pets. They didn't see him as important enough to love, care about, and watch over. They didn't. They didn't, you guys. And I'm going to tell you something. They have tried to discredit this child. That's the one thing I have taken in consideration, is that the mother and Mr. Chris, they have really tried to act like Sebastian was a real problem. A real problem. They have worked to discredit him. Why? They want to tarnish him. They want to undermine him, and they want to disgrace him. Why? When they were on Smalley's, that's exactly what they were doing. They were tarnishing him, disgracing him, trying to tear down his character. And I don't know why. I think they were trying to make us think less of this boy. I really do. That's the impression I get. That's my opinion. But I felt that's what they're doing. Sebastian has trouble with making friends. He don't stay focused on important things. He has his tantrums where his fists go down beside, and he gets real stiff and he stomps a foot. And then he brings his hands up. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Chris, I don't think it was funny that you said Sebastian wanted to be a ninja and now he's disappeared. You thought that was funny. Your little punt. I didn't like it. I found nothing funny about it. And I hope no one else did either. I hope no one else seen the same fucking humor as you did when you said that bullshit. That was cruel. That was ugly and cruel, to say the least. I got no humor out of that. I got no humor out of it. And I didn't get no humor out of when you said what we call dancing isn't dancing. Isn't dancing at all for Sebastian. Like you could bust a move. Like you can bust a move, sir. I highly doubt it. I bet you look just like a freaking duck on the dance floor. And probably quack around like one too. That's my opinion. I'm going to tell you, the way they have mistreated this child, and then come out here and then, and tarnish him, disgrace him, try to discredit him. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't care for it whatsoever.
These are two people, and I don't care for the mother no more than I care for Mr. Chris. To be honest with you, I don't care no more for her than I do for him. And that's the truth. That is the truth. And I tell you what, I would not have either one of them on my panel. I would not have either one of them on this panel. Just like JLR, I want nothing to do with Katie or Chris, period. Nothing whatsoever after the way they have acted towards this little boy. Nothing to do with them at all. Period. It's just the way it is. You don't treat a child like that. You don't treat a child like that. And I'm going to tell you, there is cameras in that area. If that little boy would have been walking off, he would have been seen somewhere on video. Somewhere he would have been seen on video in that community or outside of that community. He would have had to pass places that have surveillance. And this child was not seen by no surveillance anywhere. Anywhere. I'm telling you, no shoes on his feet. He's in his night clothes, no shoes on his feet whatsoever. That child did not walk away. That child did not walk away from that house. Someone took him away from that house. Someone took him away from that house, or else he is still somewhere in that house. Somewhere in that house. Trust me. A child don't disappear like that. They just don't go poof, be gone. No, doesn't happen. You know, I'm telling you, this case is just like Summers. Just like Summers. Oh, heard a scream around the time Summer come up missing, you know. And then Sebastian heard a big noise. Both of them were in the house. Both of them disappear. Right? Must have walked off. Must have, you know. It's same damn thing. Same BS. Don and Candace, you know, oh, that's Summer's downfall. Liking the outdoors. Right? Always blaming the child. What is this step parent and mommy doing? Blaming the child. They're blaming the child. They don't take that stepdad, Mr. Chris, does not take self-blame. He does not take self-blame. Oh, you're punishing this kid for all kinds of things, but you lose the whole kid. What is your punishment? That's what I want to know. What is your punishment for losing a whole child that you're supposed to be taking care of? Because that right there sounds to me like child neglect. It sounds to me like child neglect, if you ask me. And I think they should be charged with it. I really do. I think they need to be charged with it. And mom doesn't come outside. She doesn't come outside hollering for her son. Sebastian, are you out here? Sebastian. Sebastian, where are you? No neighbors hear mom outside hollering, Sebastian. Where are you? No. Mom pulls out in a vehicle. Mom pulls out in a vehicle and takes off somewhere. Oh, I was looking for Sebastian in my vehicle. Are you so damn lazy that you can't walk? Are you so damn lazy that you cannot get your ass out there and walk? Are you so lazy, you and Mr. Chris, so lazy that you couldn't be out there? JLR was out there going through the woods today. Where the hell were you? You are the mother of this child. And all of these other people were out there looking for your son. Where was you? In a barbecue restaurant. You were eating fucking barbecue while other people are searching for your child. You're despicable. Absolutely despicable. I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm going to tell you something. I don't even care. I don't sugarcoat it here. I do not sugarcoat it here. I call it like it is. I call it like it is, y'all. And you know, a lot of people might have issues with that, and that's okay. Because at the end of this night, I do not have to be happy with anyone but myself. And I don't have to be happy with anyone being happy with me but God Almighty Himself. At the end of this night, if God is okay with PG and PG is okay with PG, then it's all good for me. I will have no problems sleeping whatsoever, because that's all I care about. But I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to, when it comes to these babies, when it comes to these missing children, I am going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth for these children. And I don't give a damn whose feelings I hurt. Chris, Katie, I really don't care. I don't care. Doesn't bother me in the least. That little boy did not deserve. He didn't deserve to be put through the hell he was being put through in those walls. He wasn't. I'm going to tell you what. I'd rather have a mud fucking hut. A mud fucking hut and happy children than a damn $1 million home and my children walking on eggshells because some dick wants everything spotless. Wants everything to go his way. Wants to punish up the children for anything and everything because he's got some type of freaking anger and unmanaged control problems, right? It won't be happening with me. No. I'm going to tell you something. No. Hell no. I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Chris. I'm going to tell you something. My home looks like a mother freaking mansion compared to the piece of shit you fucking live in. Your little 1-story, 3 freaking bedroom. Yes, I have been all the way through it because it is public. It is public, Mr. Chris and Katie. For anyone that wants to take a look at it, they can. And how much you paid for it as well. It's all public. Matter of fact, I could have showed it on here tonight if I wanted to. I could have I could have gave them a house tour because it's public. And anything public we're allowed to use. But you know what? I felt I was going to have respect for two disrespectful humans and not show it. And not show it. But I'm going to tell you something. I've got 4 children. 4. And I'm going to let you know what. I don't give a damn if they leave the toilet seat up or down. I don't care if they got stuff on their bedroom. I'll go in there and help them clean it up. And it don't get thrown away, sir. It gets put in all the right places. And I give them a hug. I give them a hug for letting me help them. And they give me a hug for helping. Because that's what real parents and children do. They say, thanks, Mom. I say, hey, hon, I'm glad to help. Anytime. Anytime. Doing anything else is abuse. It's abuse, sir. It's abuse. And my children, they're normal. They're normal. Matter of fact, a couple of them, I can't say all, but a couple. 4.0 students, 4.0. Highly intelligent. Highly intelligent, sir, but they're not perfect. No one is. We all make messes. We all make a mess. Right? And let me tell you, everybody on here knows the PG's got fucking ongoing cleaning disorder. Something fierce, right? I'm a damn germophobic, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Don't breathe on my shit. Don't touch my shit, right? I go to grocery store, stand back. I use self-checkout because I don't want people touching or breathing on my shit. I don't care if I got 1 item or 100. I'm going through self-checkout. I don't give a damn. And I do keep my house. I keep my house clean. I keep it clean corner to corner. I keep my home clean. Right? I keep it clean. I keep it clean. Chris, Katie, and yes, I work a full-time job too. I work a full-time job, and I still make breakfast, and I make lunch, and I make dinner. I clean the freaking house. I do laundry. I wash it, I dry it, I fold it. And I put it in whose basket it belongs in. And my kids do take the basket. Sometimes they put everything away. Sometimes the basket's sitting in their room and I end up putting it away. But there's no punishment. There's no punishment. Because kids will be kids and they only get to be kids once. Only once. And I wished I seen that basket sitting there with them closing it again one day. I wish I had them to put away. Because your kids grow up so fast and they're gone out to living their own life. And you wish they were with you again. And I'm smart enough to understand that. and smart enough to relish every second that I have with my children. And to see these people who abuse children because they need power and control over someone. That's what Mr. Chris wanted. Is power and control. That's what he wanted. He seeked to make that boy's life a living hell so he could have power and control to make himself feel big. Mr. Chris likes to feel big. He likes to feel, like he said, my wife, my kid, I feel my job is to step up for them, step in front of them, beside them, however they want me to do. I'm going to do it. Yeah. I tell you what, us women don't need no man stepping up for us. We can step up for our damn selves. And we don't need, and you wasn't stepping up for Sebastian. You weren't stepping up for him. You were the one stepping on him. You were stepping on him. And his mother was too blind to damn see it. And her son's completely gone now. I tell you what, folks, it'd be a cold day in hell. A cold day in hell that someone like that Christopher would walk into my house and say shit. It wouldn't happen. Wouldn't happen. Trust me. Wouldn't happen. No. I'm going to tell you what I have found in this life. Women don't need to be stepped up for. Just because someone is bigger, stronger, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean a thing. Right? Don't mean a thing. I don't give a damn how big you are. I don't give a damn how strong you are. I don't give a shit. Because I know you are no fucking match for me. Don't even bother. You're just no match. Doesn't, it is what it is, people. All I know about big people, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. That's it. Yeah, the dog did hit on something. The dog supposedly hit on something. Yes, absolutely. The dog was supposed to hit on something. To my understanding. I'm going to tell you something. This case has got all of us. It's got all of us really going. It really does, because this is like one of the saddest cases. One of the saddest cases we have ever witnessed. I'm going to tell you something. Summer's case is absolutely the saddest. It's the saddest of all, is Summer's case. Little Summer Summer didn't ever get to enjoy life at all, from birth till disappearance. She did not ever get to enjoy life at all, right? She just didn't get to enjoy life. She didn't know what it was like to live in a big, clean house, sleep in a clean bed, have brand new stuff, go places, really go to nice places. Summer didn't know nothing about a world, a clean house, new clothes, somebody to hug her, love her, read to her, right? Tell her how beautiful she was, how smart she is. And how beautiful of a future waited her in a distance. She didn't have all of that. Summer didn't have all of that. She had absolutely none of that. Her case is the saddest of all because that was a child that was totally abused from birth till the day she disappeared. She had it hard. She had it hard the second she came into this world. But this little boy, he had it hard the second his mother met up with Mr. Chris. That boy's life all changed. And I'm sure, in my opinion, that child did not see 1 second peace from that day forward. Not 1 second's peace from that day forward. He was 8 years old. 8 years old when Mommy met up with Mr. Chris, to my understandings. That little boy had 7 years, if you ask me, of pure hell living with Mr. Chris. 7 years of pure hell. And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Oh, I'll tell you whose fault it is. It's Mommy's. She was his mother. She was the one God gave this little boy to watch over. She was supposed to be his angel. She was supposed to be his protector. She was supposed to be watching out for him, not fucking Mr. Chris, who can take care of his damn self. It's Mommy's fault. All of this. I'm not going to sit there and feel sorry for Mommy. Oh, I can't. The reason Mr. Chris talks for me is because usually I'm crying or I just don't have words. Well, you look like you got a lot of words on that fucking phone today. You didn't have no problem talking on it. I didn't take note that the phone was turned off laying on the table and you were sitting there looking sad. Looked like you were talking just fine. Just fine. I didn't even see no tears. What I saw is Mr. Chris looking nervous as hell. And you on a phone staring straight at him. Actually, if I had to say what he looked like, in my opinion, I'd say Mr. Chris looked very damn nervous. Like, what have you got him into? And you were staring at him like you knew exactly what he was thinking. That was my take on what I saw. That's my take. That's what I was seeing. And I bet you I'm right. I bet I'm right. Yeah. Yeah, there'll be a wife number, number 6. If she ain't it, there'll be a 6. I heard he was married like 20 times. I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to let you know now. If they find anything in this park, anything related to Sebastian in this park, that's where he was taken. He did not walk there. This child did not walk for over 2-3 hours to some damn park with no shoes on. That's bullshit. He didn't walk to no park with no shoes on and a roll of fucking duct tape. Oh, he duct taped his feet up. He took a roll of duct tape from the house and duct taped his feet up instead of putting shoes on. Come on, y'all. I don't think so. That's bullshit. Absolutely not.
Looking for this innocent young child.
Oh yeah, I can put up the barbecue picture. There it is. While everybody else is searching, Mr. Proudfoot is sitting at a restaurant. There it is. Look at her. There's an up close. Look at her. Let's go back here, y'all. Look right there. Look at her. Look at him. Look. It's like, what the hell you got me into? And she's staring at him like she knows exactly what he's thinking, right? Look at her. He's like, what have you got me into? And she's staring at him like, oh shit. He's not happy. He's not happy with whatever the hell is going on, right? He's not happy at all. Here you go. There's a picture of him. And he does look worried. And it ain't about Sebastian. He's looking worried for himself. And let's see her. There she is. Look, staring straight at him. See there? She's looking right at him. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Oh yeah. He's looking rough, ain't he?
It does look like it's like kind of like a trail back here. Gets there at that point. If you're in Hendersonville and you want to come out, come on out. Volunteers are out here searching.
Isn't it funny, Mr. Chris, that you and your old ladies licking the barbecue chicken, well, the person you were talking so bad about, JLR, and could please someone, my mods, could you please put JLR's link, to his channel in the chat, please. Drop his link in the chat to give credit to JLR for what we're being able to see and view tonight on behalf of Sebastian. Please let me give him credit. JLR goes the extra miles for these missing children. I'm telling you, I love him. Absolutely, positively love JLR. And he does everything he can for these missing children. He even goes down to our borders also to try to help our country understand how important our borders are to be protected. Um, he goes that extra mile for all of us. Absolutely. Um, he's out here now. Mommy and Mr. Chris ain't out here walking around in these thorns and these torn down trees and in the midst of all of this. They're not out there getting poison ivy on them. They're not out there getting ate up with the little bugs that are coming to life right now through the springtime, right? They're not out there, taking a risk of getting a tick or something on them to help find their child, right? This son that Mr. Chris keeps saying he has, my son, my son, my son, but he ain't out there looking. He ain't out there searching. Mommy ain't got herself out there, right? She ain't got herself out there in some tennis shoes and a pair of jeans and a hoodie, searching through them, through all of this. Absolutely not. But they'll run their mouth on the person who is JLR. They'll run their mouth on the biological dad, acting like he's trying to, make them look bad. No, sir. No, Katie. You two look bad on your own. You two have made yourself look like shit. Nobody else has done that for you. Nobody. Because you know what? I am I am not biased any way, form, or how. I make sure that I stay neutral when a case first opens up and starts out. I stay very neutral because I need to know the truth. The truth's the only thing is going to bring these kids home and get justice for these children. You got to have the truth because the truth is the only thing that law enforcement can prosecute upon. And I love the truth. I need the truth and I want the truth. As all humans should. As every human in this world should. We need it. We have to have it. In this line of work right here, we must have the truth. If we're going to find these children, we're going to do what it takes to get these cases solved and justice served. We have to have the truth. Nothing else can help these children. Nothing. But the point being is I do stay neutral. And I was not quick. I was not quick to go after the stepdad or the mother of this boy. I was not quick. I know stuff happens. I know stuff happens. So I wasn't going to be quick. But let me tell you something. I was quick after I heard them open their mouths. I was very quick after I heard them open their mouths. And I sit back and I listen to their BS. No. No. They sit there and they justified doing things that should not have been done to a child with autism, to any child with a severe disability. Absolutely not. You just don't damn do that. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it, y'all. But I'm going to tell you something. JLR is out here. He's out here and he's doing what them two should have been doing today instead of being at some barbecue place licking the chicken. Right? Shouldn't have been done. Shouldn't have been done.
All over the place. Come on out. JLR investigates. Oh! All right, they said stop. Scoot around here, excuse me. All right, they said stop. See what's going on. We're moving. Okay, the dogs are out. Heard them?
That stepfather, that Mr. Chris is passive aggressive. That's what he is.
They continue to, they're going to go down all this area here. And I'm doing it myself. My eyes, as I'm filming, folks, my eyes is peeled all over the ground too. Just so you know. We're out here. Come on out. Come help. Please. All right, I said walk. I'm gonna go over here and kind of intercept this group over here. So look out for poison ivy. A lot of thorns too. So I got people scattered out all over the place, and they're just holding the line and waiting. Let's see what's going on. Let me see what's going on back here.
Blood.
Huh?
It is blood. It is some tape material. It is a deep like thing here. They no longer want us to step in that area, and they call law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
Did you hear what she said? I'm going to go back so you guys can hear what she said. She said there's blood, some type of paper material.
Blood.
Huh?
It is blood. It is some tape material. It is a
Blood and some type of tape material.
deep like thing here. They no longer want us to step in that area.
They think it could be a diaper. They think it could be a diaper. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they call law enforcement.
They're going to call law enforcement. They said they're calling in law enforcement.
Law enforcement. Oh no.
Love a Scorpio. I'm bringing you up. Hey, girl, what's going on?
Hi, PG.
Hello, hello. How you
Sending you love.
doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
This is so sad on all levels, PG. It's just really sad. Sad for this poor baby. I have a quick question. Do you know anything? Has anything else come out about the 2 flashlights yet?
You know, the last I heard about the 2 flashlights is it could have been light reflecting from some other area.
Oh, their source?
I don't know. I mean, they still are looking into it. Now, when I first heard about the flashlights, they said that they had disappeared. That one disappeared behind some bushes, and then the other one kind of followed. I would think if it was standard light coming from some other source, it wouldn't have been moving like that.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know. But the way I also believe that I heard that, you know, that this case now, they're starting to look at some foul play.
Right.
You know, that it's very possible there's more to this case than, you know, what law enforcement had previously thought there was.
Right.
That's what I'm hearing. Now, I think that lady out here that we was just listening to, I think she said the word diaper. I'm not sure. Let's listen to this again.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure that she did say diaper.
Okay. And when we come back, I just have a theory possibly on the flashlights.
Blood.
Huh?
It is blood. It is some It is a deep, like, thing here. They no longer want us to step in that area, and they call law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
Blood.
Huh?
It is blood. It is some tape material. It is a deep, like, thing here. They no longer.
Did it sound like she said diaper?
A deep diaper?
Yeah, it sounded like she said some kind of diaper.
She says blood. Then
She
said
did
some
say,
type of
okay,
yes,
Sharon,
she did.
yeah,
And then it said
exactly.
she found other material and then a deep diaper. It sounded
Yeah,
like she said.
that's what it sounded like to me. Oh wow, this could not be good.
longer want us to step in that area, and they call law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
Tell them not to step in that
Oh
area.
no. All right, they're calling law enforcement, folks. That's what I'm told. I don't know what's going on here, folks, but they're calling law enforcement. Something's going on. Tell me what's going on. What do they see?
No, we just stepped on a big soft spot, like where stuff's been recently packed.
Really?
In a big spot.
Yikes. So they just stepped on a soft spot. Oh man.
Yeah, that does not look good.
Were these people of the community just searching? Like without any Ellie present?
I don't know. I know
Okay.
that. I know they had a dog handler out there. They had a dog handler out there.
Oh, so it might be.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
so we're about to watch them because they're bringing in the dog right now.
Okay, cool.
You heard that, folks. Something's going on here.
Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. Yes, sir. We will. All right.
You're going to stay right there. The rest of us are going to keep moving forward, okay?
Go ahead, move a little bit forward, but go ahead and stop the line.
Okay.
Okay, so
What happened? What's going on?
this is it's a fresh mound, but we don't know what's underneath it, of course, because there's no leaves on it until somebody checks it out and there's any blood on it. But we don't know, so that's just weird and it's odd. So
Yeah. Tape over there?
it's a
Piece of tape
some kind of tape or something with blood
with
and
blood.
insulation or something. Where's it at? It's been moved that way.
All right, folks.
Is it that loop there, maybe?
So
Oh, there was some.
searchers are claiming they found maybe some tape, some blood, maybe. Just precautionary, just to check it out. I think we told everyone to kind of back off this area here, and I'm seeing what's up. I think Ellie's gonna come here.
Like, who's close to the road?
Nobody now.
Nobody?
Is walking in through the woods right now. What do you guys go find here? Because my team location is not working.
Find, we need you to, someone closest to the road, find Brandon.
Which road?
I'll go.
This road out here.
I'm gonna go that way.
I'll go.
Did somebody pop this in? They were looking for questions like that, which is why every time I stepped in holes, I was thinking.
Seth is not here, but down here in this particular location, he's here and on scene somewhere.
I think he's
Hey guys.
He's with the canines?
I should step back.
He's asking everybody to stop, step back.
Over this way.
We got a dog.
We got a dog, folks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm walking in front of you.
We got a dog here.
Back towards him. Okay, come this way.
All right, something's going on. They're bringing in the dog just to see.
You're gonna, he's gonna show me the bloody.
Yeah, it's over his brush.
All right, they got the dog. Got the canine dog. Waiting to see what's going on, folks. They got a dog back there.
There's a bone.
We have a bone over here, sir. We have a bone. Right there.
Got the canine dog out here.
Yeah, they said they had a bone. I guess there was a bone. Now, from my understandings, that means the dog made a hit. It hit on something. When it stops and it lays down like that,
Mm-hmm.
supposedly that means that it made a hit. It hit on something. That's what, that's to my understanding.
Yeah. And normally the dog will have the scent of Sebastian that it's given to prior to searching. Is that
Right.
correct? So I'm sure Seth was in the area. They said he must have, in my opinion, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I would think that Chris would have had some kind of article of clothing with Sebastian's, scent on it.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But if you look behind a dog, you can see that I don't know if that's a rock back there behind the dog or if that's some type of material, some type of material or something behind the
Sitting right
dog there.
behind the dog there.
Right. There's
Yeah.
something behind the dog there. It could be a big rock. I don't know what it is. Sometimes sometimes people will put, put a person where, where they think there's a marker. Like, if that is a big rock, then they would use that as a marker to know right where,
Where the
they
dog
have
hit.
lived. Well, what I'm saying is if they dig there and they do find something, that rock could have been a marker. If you want to remember,
I got what you're saying.
if you want to
So
remember
whoever
where,
put it there, they would put the rock there.
well, the rock was probably, that's too big for someone to really lift. So what I'm saying is, if you were going to, like if he was going to um, bury a tin can of money or something,
Right.
you would want to bury it where you could remember to go back and get it.
Gotcha.
And so most people will bury something, by a marker, by a rock, or by like a certain tree that has certain markings on it, or
Yeah, if you want to go back and retrieve it or move it.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. They always put it by a marker, something they will remember being there.
Okay.
Yes, in case they want to go back and retrieve it or visit, or
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
maybe just go out there and for whatever reason. But there is something, it looks like a marker is possibly behind that dog.
That dog definitely hit on something, PG.
Or she's on the phone, folks. So You know, they know the behavior of the dog. I don't know what's going on.
With with um with Sebastian's dad being there today, because he was there. Sebastian's biological dad was there today. And with him being there today, I'm sure that he gave them something, something at his home that belonged to Sebastian.
So
You
I've
know,
noticed a few people
a-
in the chat were saying it was a cadaver dog, not a scent dog. So either way, the dog hit on something.
exactly. Um, there's something there. There's
Yep.
something there.
Yeah.
So, um, it definitely was a hit. It
Yes.
definitely was a hit. But, you know, cadaver dogs sometimes can go off of scent as well, if it can go off of scent as well. Um, also,
Okay, I need y'all to go back up.
Okay, they're kicking us out.
Okay.
All right, everyone, follow out. They're kicking us out, so we might have something here, folks.
Kicking us out.
This is a professional dog handler here that knows a lot about dogs. And
um, the thing is, is the lady said, if we go back, the lady says there's tape, there's blood,
Right.
there's tape, and I do believe she said diaper. I do believe she said diaper.
Yeah.
Now I don't know.
It sounded like she said a deep diaper.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
blood, tape, and deep diaper.
yeah. That's what it sound like. That's
Mhm.
what it sound like. I don't know, but to me, that's what it sounded like. Um,
So there's a possibility, let's just say it was a cadaver dog, right? And
right,
Sebastian was in his diaper, had tape around him, and he was decomposing. That dog would still hit on that.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
You know. So I don't know. I don't know. It did hit. It did hit. That's sad. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, you guys. I'm not surprised at all. I'm
Mm-mm.
not surprised due to the fact that um he's been gone almost a month now. He's
Mhm.
been missing almost a month. And also this particular park has been shut down since 2023, right? They had a big storm come through and take down a bunch of things in there, and the um it just wasn't safe. It
Right.
just wasn't safe with
Right.
with the storm coming through. They haven't been able to get in there and actually clean it all up, and
Right.
they said even the infrastructure was messed up as well,
Mhm.
meaning some of the walls, and there still could be trees leaning on trees that could
Yeah.
continue falling.
Yeah.
So when you have a mess like this, what they do is they shut the park down completely down, and then that opens that particular park up to people who, undesirable humans
Mhm.
who know this place is shut down, is isolated, it's a good place. It's a
Right.
good place to do sinister things. So, you know,
It would be less likely to be searched first.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm.
But somebody called in a tip. is what I believe. I mean,
I think so.
they got a tip on this.
Mm-hmm.
Told us to leave, so we're backing out. We're going back to the parking lot, folks. Something's going on here, possibly. Rockland Recreation Center. JLR investigates.
Sorry. Look at. Look at this.
There's something going on. Also, another searcher claims that they saw some tape with blood on it back here. So I don't know what's going on, folks. But the lady made a phone call and they are bringing us out. I don't know what this means. Stand by. We'll find out.
Heat's on.
Everyone's leaving out, kicking everyone out, securing the area.
Look at all of these beautiful people.
I know.
Look at all of these beautiful people. This child was not anything to any of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to any of these people. But you know what? They came out there. They came out there for that child. Why? Why? Because they feel that every child is our business.
Mm-hmm.
These people felt that every child is our business. And why is it our business? Because every child is our future.
Mm-hmm.
Every child is our future. And every child in the world, every child in this world, they don't have a voice, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like little Sebastian. He spoke up, right? He told the school he was being abused. And he got child protective services, and and he even told them, I'm being abused. But because he's got a disability, because he was a child, he wasn't heard. He wasn't heard. Even when children are here to be heard, they're not heard until they're in a hospital or they're banging on someone's door needing to go to a hospital. And then law enforcement and child protective services is forced. They're forced to do their damn job when they're forced to do their damn job. But before that, these children are not heard. They're not being listened to.
This is my take on that because I totally agree with you, PG. I 100% agree with you that the kids aren't heard. There, nobody, it's just it falls to the wayside. But then
Yeah.
in this instant, this case with this stepfather, I'll use that loosely, um, had a way to get into CPS or whatever, children protective services that he figured out a way how to work the system per se, and that he was trying to debunk whatever he was gaslighting, I believe, Sebastian. And then when Sebastian, was like, I've had enough, and he finally told somebody. And then the father's like, oh, no, no, I'm sure this is just Sebastian. You know how they tried to smooth it over with CPS, but CPS should push back on that. And they don't. They don't. And this is really, I get frustrated. Our system is so broken that these kids, and I'm going to roll into what you said earlier. Every missing child should that should be treated as a crime scene right off the bat. I so agree with what you said before. I was driving home. I was like, yes, PG, yes. Every missing child's home, wherever they went missing from, should be roped off, tied off, everything in that house gone through, evidence taken, computers taken. It should be treated as a crime scene. Until that happens, this is going to keep continuing on and on and on. Why TBI, why their local LE doesn't do this, I don't know. But laws need to be changed. And I 100% agree with you. It's just too many kids in Tennessee right now. Too many gone. Too many in a short time. It's like they come in spurts. It's really weird. They come in like a little, one, two, three, and then they'll go one, two, then it's one, two, three, four. Some are recovered throughout that time. But it's really weird that all these kids coming up just don't get justice. You have a stepfather that can schmooze a CPS worker so he doesn't have a case anymore. Come on. Like that needs to stop. This kid is missing. This 15-year-old boy with autistic issues, he didn't have anybody, like you said, PG. He didn't have his mother to protect him. His father lives elsewhere. His father was great when he was one-on-one with him. Didn't need to pull up when he was with the dad. But the stepdad and the mom, he was the worst kid ever. Come on. Like, come on, people, wake up.
Right, right. Now, a lot of people said, that cadaver dogs pick up just on live
Yeah.
scent.
Yeah.
Um,
Decomposition.
actually, a trained cadaver dog can pick up the scent of a human's remains buried deeper than 10 feet underground. They can go off of a certain human scent. That's true. This dog. Now, I don't know if this particular dog was going off of anybody's in particular, scent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if it was going off of Sebastian's scent or not. It could have been because his dad was there.
Mm-hmm.
But it can, and it did make a hit. Now I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back on JLR's video and watch it and see if they
Right.
specify if it's a cadaver dog or a scent dog, because I haven't been able to watch it. I was at work, so I
Right.
haven't been able to watch it. So I don't really have the clarification of specifically what the dog was doing. But God bless these dogs, man. I have to say, God is good. He gives us creatures small and mighty, and they know what they're doing.
I'm going to tell you, every action has a reaction.
Yeah.
Every action has a reaction. And we as parents in this world, we got to understand that our actions cause a reaction with our children.
Amen. Yeah.
When we are, we need to make, our actions need to be positive.
Yeah.
So that it has a positive reaction on our
Absolutely.
children. What I'm saying is I'm raising my children the way I want my grandchildren raised.
Mm-hmm.
I'm raising my children the way I want my grandchildren raised. Lead them in the way you want them to go.
Yep.
And that's the way they will, they won't ever stray.
Yep.
You've got to raise your children the way you want your grandchildren raised, and they need to raise their children the way they want their grandchildren raised, which
Correct.
would end up being, for me, my great grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, I think we have learned, by breaking the chain, right? By breaking so many chains.
Yep.
That, that the way we raise our kids is the way they're going to raise theirs.
Yeah.
And so forth and so on.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, if you want to raise good kids,
you have to be an example. You have to be that example for that child.
You have to be. You can't just be an example. You also have to explain. You have to
Yes.
explain to your children why
Yes.
you don't do drugs,
Yes.
why you don't drink
But that's what I'm
alcohol.
saying. You can't be
You
a
know,
parent on drugs and then teach your kids not to do drugs. That doesn't work.
exactly. No, because see, when you're doing it, I tell you, you hear so many, you hear so many parents, and I can't tell you how many personal friends, personal. Like I have been there when it's going down, with a mom and her child. And I have heard a million times, you know, the mothers say, you need to straighten up, you need to do this, you need to do that, because I hung around, I come from a hood, you guys. So I hung around with a lot of people who did stuff they should not be doing. And when you hang with people, you go to their houses, right? You're hanging inside their homes, or you're going in with them so they can grab this or they can get that. And when you walk in and then you see this parent jump onto them, right? You need to straighten, you need this or that. And you don't know how many times I have heard these words put back into that parent's face. Why should I not do it? You do.
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why
That's a
should
fact.
I not do it? You do.
Yep.
And it's like, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe
And you know what? The kid is not wrong.
No, I
No.
felt that it was totally disrespectful.
Yes. Yes, it
Um,
is. But the child's still not wrong.
Even though I come from a house of hell, and God knows I do, and had a horrible life, I can say this. I wouldn't have been able to say that to either one of my parents.
No.
Because neither one of my parents drank, and neither one of my parents done any type of substance abuse. I could not have said that.
Right.
And one thing I learned to have respect. I learned to have respect for not only my parents and my grandparents, but all older adults.
Right.
I learned to have respect for younger children, not to hurt them or be mean to them or anything. I learned that if you're around younger children, you watch over them. You make sure you don't do nothing mean, and you don't let other people do nothing mean to a younger child either.
Yes.
So I am thankful. That I was raised with respect for all older people, for all younger people.
Yes.
People just in general. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat them the way you want to be treated. The Bible don't say do unto others that they have done unto you. It doesn't say that. It says do unto them as you would have them do unto you.
It doesn't say go on YouTube, humiliate your stepson, make fun of the way he dances, and then tell the world that you hit him with the belt.
Yeah.
Like come on.
Yeah, and tell the world. Did you hear him? He said that when he threw a tantrum, well, it was worse when he was younger. But recently the extent of his fit was put his fist down by his sides real stiff, and then he'd bring his hand up, and then he said he would do it like and made fun of him, right? And that was about it.
That was frustration on Sebastian's part. What was he supposed to do?
Why?
knew he was going to get a
But why?
punishment.
But the sound that he made,
Yeah,
you would
he was
think Sebastian.
mocking him. He was mocking him.
Well, yes, but also he was making it like Sebastian wasn't able to talk. Like
Right.
Sebastian, you know,
Right.
he was making, to me, this is my opinion, he was making fun of Sebastian's
He
disability.
absolutely was. He
His
100.
disability.
He
And I
100% was.
I didn't like that.
I did not.
Right.
I
mean,
not. I think probably about 99% of the people in the chat agree with us. What he was
Right.
saying about Sebastian was absolutely unexcusable. It was, you are trying to victim shame this poor boy. And I
Right.
will call it victim shaming because guess what? Sebastian's not there. He is the victim, not you, Chris.
Absolutely.
Your stepson, not your son. Let's get that clear, sir. It was your stepson that you humiliated day and night, day and
Yes.
night, day
Yes.
and night. You are the problem, not Sebastian, sir.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're welcome.
What's your thoughts, folks? Share. I suspect possibly law enforcement might come, maybe. I don't know if they're gonna, what's going on here.
I know it's the dog. It's the dog. They didn't hit on something.
They hit on something?
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
Okay, they hit on something, folks. Possibly hit on something. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. All right, folks. JLR investigates. So I am at Rockland Recreation Center, Hendersonville. And this is the main parking lot here. And they have now kicked all the volunteers out of the area. The dog came in, and apparently the dog might have hit on something. It did. So people were saying to me that it did. So they kicked us all out. Now what happens at this point? Possibly law enforcement might arrive, or they bring the next chain of command to evaluate the situation. But we are out here. What's going on here? See what happens.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot, right? That's a lot.
Those people.
Now, a lot of people were trying to say that this up here, that up here was the Mr. Chris and the and Mr. Chris and this the mom. No, this was a woman. This was not Mr. Chris they were out having barbecue. They were out enjoying a barbecue dinner, talking on the phone, and doing nothing.
I didn't know people were trying to say that was Chris, and I don't even know the mother's name.
Yeah, they were trying to say that was possibly them. No, it wasn't. That's another thing I wanted to bring to people's attention tonight as well. So, absolutely. This is a really, really sad case. A really sad case that's going on. I hope that they find something soon. I mean, I don't hope that dog hit on. I do not hope that dog hit on Sebastian. Yeah. I don't. I want Sebastian to still be alive somewhere and found, brought home. But a month later, I
Right.
don't think that's going to happen. I
Right.
really don't think that's going to happen, you guys. You know, it's my opinion. In my opinion, Sebastian's no longer with us.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if they find him, they're not going to find him.
Alive and well.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So a month, no. Absolutely not. Um, I don't give up hope, though. I don't give up hope, folks.
No, we can't.
I won't do that. But I really, what I'm saying is please, please hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Because I think it's going to be the worst in this case. Just saying. I truly believe it is. And
In my opinion, as well, just from that one little conversation they both had, and it was just horrifying what that man was saying, and then the
right.
wife trying to talk little meek and quiet, and
Well,
now that.
I'm going to tell you what got me about his conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he said, when Sebastian threw fits, he said he would. Um, when people use the term, would or had, um, that's past tense.
Yep.
And when they talk about someone past tense, that means the person's pretty much gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we were getting past tense. When him and the mother talked, it was past tense.
Yep.
It's not he will. He'll do this and he'll do that as if he's still here. It's he would do this and he would do that. Meaning, past tense. And that's something you have to take note of as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which was a big red flag. Was a big red flag. Now, would the stepdad help the stepmom if something went down? I don't know. Would she help him? Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think they would both help each other. I
Would
think
he help her? I don't know.
I think so. And I think because of his past actions towards Sebastian over a few years, it's not something that she's idly stood by, obviously. It's whether she participated in it or not, I can't say that. That would pure speculation. But he literally said in his own words, PG, that he used a belt on Sebastian in
Yes,
his
he
own
did.
words.
Yes, he did.
And I'm going
Oh,
to use those words against him because you can't defend what you said
no,
publicly. You can't.
no. Once you say it, it's out there.
And the mom didn't
Lucy,
say a dang word.
right? Lucy. Yes, that's a beautiful story in the Bible. The one son, yes, he took his inheritance and he left and yes, he came back penniless, right? He came back penniless, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. His dad loved him and welcomed him with open arms as if he had not ever been gone. And even though the brother couldn't understand it, you know, and was very upset because he stayed behind, you know, the the dad had all understanding, understanding way beyond his son that stayed behind. You know, that's the thing in this life. You know, don't don't stay if you're going to be jealous and you're going to be angry about someone else going out there and trying to do something with their life, even if they end up coming back. Don't be, Go out there and don't stay behind. Don't stay behind. Go out there and do what you want to do. If it's going to make you angry, go out there and do what you want to do. Don't stay. It's like, if you're going to get angry, about cleaning something, just don't clean it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to bitch about it, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not right. It's not right. Do things because you want to,
Yeah.
not because you feel like you have to. But when but always remember that God gave you the strength to do it, and you should be glad you're able.
Amen.
If God gives you the strength to do something, you need to do it. I mean, if God gives you the strength to clean the bathroom, thank God. Thank God that He gave you that strength, and be happy that you're able to do it, because there is people out there who can't. There's people who wish they could, and they are not healthy enough, or they don't have the time or something to get it done. So, if you're able, don't bitch about things. Be grateful that God
Right.
has given you what it takes to do what you do. That's what you better be thankful about. There ain't no time. There ain't no time in this life for complaining.
Mm-mm.
Did you hear Jesus complaining? Did you hear Jesus complaining about what He did for all of us? No.
No.
Jesus didn't complain. He got it done. And He was thankful He was able to do it. He was grateful that God gave Him everything, all the things He needed to be able to get it done.
Jesus came here knowing what He had to do, and that was
Amen.
His mission. And
Amen.
his mission was to come here and open up people's eyes to what they haven't seen before. And He was gracious. He took in all of the downtrodden. He didn't judge anybody. He took people for who they were, to try to
Um,
let them
the,
see.
the brother, in that particular story,
Mhm. Mhm.
when the son came home, penniless, he came back home to his father. His brother, who stayed there, who stayed with the dad and worked and did everything, he did complain. The brother did complain. He did not understand how the dad let the other son come back and have a big party and do everything he did for the other son who had been gone and didn't stay and do anything. He's like,
Mhm.
how can you didn't ever have a big party for me? I stayed here, I didn't get a big party. But he went out there and he comes back and he gets a big, yeah, he did complain. Absolutely. The brother complained. He didn't like his dad opening his arms up to his other son. And there was jealousy. There was
Mhm.
jealousy. Absolutely. PG, He is my precious Lord. Amen. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He is, you know, He is everybody's Lord, right? Jesus Christ
Mhm.
is everybody's Lord and Savior. And God is everyone's God. Absolutely. God belongs to all of us. His
Mhm.
son died for all of us. And I don't understand. I don't understand, why people a lot of people are jealous. A lot of people want God and Jesus all for themselves. And can I understand that? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I can understand that. But we got to share God, and we got to share, there's enough God made the whole world, so there's enough of Him to go around.
Mhm.
And you know And Jesus died for the whole world. There's enough of him to go around too. You know, you can have all you want. You have all you want, and there'll still be plenty left. Trust me.
Yep.
Oh no. No, Jesus didn't. Jesus did absolutely, Lucy. Jesus did not. He did not complain at all
No.
about what he did for all of us. He did not complain whatsoever.
Did he get
You know,
angered? Yes, he did get angered.
well, yeah, you know, he got angry that, you know, people. Jesus got angry because people weren't able to see the truth. You know,
Yep.
he got angry because he thought people should, you know, should live a life that God wanted them to live, right?
Yep. Yep. Because Jesus saw the unfairness of it all.
Right.
We're living in the same times. People don't
Oh, let me
realize
tell
it.
you. The Bible says that at the end of time, the Euphrates River will be dried up. Well, I think people better take a look because it's dried up, baby. It's dried up. I mean, if a bucket of water means not dried up, then to me it's dried up. Like it's dry. It also says that, you know, there is so many signs right now. And did you know there's going to be no school April the 8th?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
On the eclipse, there's
Yep.
going to be no school. They're calling all school and everything off during that time. I think people better think about this. I really think people need to think about all of this. You know, I'm telling y'all, you know, get your house in order.
Mm-hmm.
Get your house in order.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know people don't like to hear that. I take note that, you know, like we could be up to 400 or 500 people in here, folks. And the minute you start talking about religion,
Yeah.
it'll
People bail.
go down to two,
Yep. You're
250,
right.
you know,
Yep.
under 300. Because people just don't, you know, people, they're going to wish they would have stayed and
Yep.
listened to everything.
Yep.
You know,
And all you can do,
when the
PG,
Lord
for
comes, when the Lord comes, you're going to wish you would have stayed and listened.
yeah, I was just going to say, and those are the people you have to pray for hard. Those people that leave when you start talking about God and Jesus, those are the people you have to pray for.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you haven't heard PG. You haven't heard PG talking about nobody lately, right? You haven't heard me going
Nope.
at no one. Now, is there people going at me? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's people going at PG right now. I know who they are. Trust me. I know who they are. I know what they're saying. But you know what? I have chose to let their sin be upon their own heads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have chose to be the bigger person. I have chose to do God's will instead of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I have chose to be better than they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have been choosing to do. The last few times you have seen PG, I come in, I get started on the case, I follow the case, and I go out of here. Why? Because I am not going to lower my standards any longer.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lower my standards, my level, to their level anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Their sins are upon their own heads. It's nothing to do with me.
Nope.
It has nothing to do with me. I have tried to make these people see their airy ways. I have tried to change a lot of these people, hoping they can be the person that I know they could be, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to give them a mirror reflection of themselves anymore because
No.
that means I got to bring myself down on their level. I got to bring myself down to their level to make them see, the ugliness
Mm-hmm.
the hurt and the pain that they're trying to cause someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't worth it to me. It
No.
does not change them. It does not, no matter how many times
And
you do it,
it serves nothing. It
it
serves
doesn't, it
nothing.
doesn't help, and it doesn't do nothing.
All
You
it
know,
does
it
is
changes
distract.
nothing. That's right. It absolutely changes nothing. And, you
Mhm.
know, and I'm just tired. I'm tired of, you know, I don't really care what they do anymore. Their sins are on them. What
That's
I
right.
do care about is the reason I'm here, and that is to help these missing kids, to call out the truth, right? To call out
Yep.
the truth, no matter, you know, I don't care who gets offended. If these people, you know, if Katie and Chris get offended, that's on them. I'm calling it out not the way I see it, the way it is.
Yes.
The way
The
it
way
is.
it is. Yes.
And you know, and I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to hold back because this little boy did not have a voice. He did not have a voice
That
because,
man took everything away from that child.
including his voice,
Yes.
when it came to his own body being abused,
Yes.
even his voice got stole away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and I'm tired. I'm tired of I'm tired of this world saying that, oh, well, a child's too young, so that's why, you know, that's why we're going to let
That's
these,
why it should be
these
ignored.
abusers, yeah, that's why we're going to let these abusers get away with
Right.
abusing. We don't want to put the child through anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the child's older, well, now they're, you know, they're lying teenage stage. They're probably lying. I mean, any excuse not to help these children, it's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's wrong. These children need protected. They need voices. They need
Mm-hmm.
people to stand up and talk for them. And that's why it's important for neighbors. That is why it is important for people to start sticking their nose out the door, stick your nose out the window,
Mm-hmm.
stick your nose, you know, out there to help these children. Because everything you see and hear, you could be their voice. Now, if a neighbor calls, you know, if a neighbor's witnessing a child being abused like that, they call in, the Child Protective Services has to listen because this is an adult talking about it and not a child.
Yeah.
You know, Child Protective Services can't tell another adult they're lying, or you know, they're too young to pay attention to or put through. No, they have to listen,
Right.
you know. And with video footage today, turn on that camera, turn it on when it is important to turn it on.
Right.
And I mean, if you see someone abusing and screaming and doing bad things, turn that camera on and show it, because
Mm-hmm.
footage don't lie. Footage
Can I
does not lie.
can I go back to what you said earlier, PG? I was in chat, but I've been running around. I had to go to the store. But
Oh, go right ahead, sweetie.
you had said something that was really, really awesome. You said, "Why did she get in her lazy ass in the car and go drive?" And I was
Yeah,
like, and then I got the ding, ding, ding. I'm like, why wouldn't you just search your property first, ma'am? Why wouldn't you just walk the property when you realized that Sebastian wasn't home? And then perhaps get in your car. Did
right.
she search the home? The home looks very large to me. Did she search all the rooms in the home? Did she search the basement, the garage, a
Absolutely.
closet? No. Her
Absolutely.
first instinct was to get in a car. Why would you think that you should get into a car? Maybe something that you might have been told to get in your car, somebody told you, in my opinion. Why wouldn't you search your whole home before you went outside and then search your property and then you get in your car, ma'am?
Absolutely. You know, maybe something was in the car that she needed to put somewhere because law
Mm-hmm.
enforcement and everyone's going to be coming to the house.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that's what happened to
Mm-hmm.
Summer. I
Mm-hmm.
truly believe that's what happened to Summer.
And going back to the two flashlight thing for me, I'm just going to put this out. It is totally my speculation, my theory, whatever you want to call it. Those two flashlights, because Sebastian's flashlight is gone, correct?
I personally don't think he had one. I mean, and here's another question. How does she know if she didn't see him leave, if
Mm-hmm.
she had no idea when he left or didn't see
Mm-hmm.
him leave or even hear him leave, how
Mm-hmm.
would she know he has a flashlight?
Okay, so this is
How would she have knew
right.
he was barefooted? Well,
Thank you.
maybe from,
This is my
maybe
theory, PG. This is my theory. He had a flashlight. Mom had a flashlight. Guess who didn't have his flashlight? And I think they both took the flashlights. I think they took whatever, um, wherever Sebastian was, and they took the road. They took that road where you showed the map. And I think those two flashlights are significant. I really do. I really do. Because even throughout that interview on Smiley's, that flashlight came up a few times. I
you
think,
know, here's my thing. Maybe the second flashlight was her.
yeah,
Maybe she went out there. Maybe she had to, maybe she got really upset that she had to go out there, bring him back to the house, and maybe, I mean, it seems like her and that man had they said they hit him with a belt.
hmm
Um, you
and she
know,
was complacent. She was very complacent.
what I'm saying is it don't take a lot. It don't take a lot to hurt or even possibly totally unlive someone. It does not take a lot to do that.
hmm
And that's the truth.
hmm
That's the truth.
So I
Um,
don't think, because I know at the very beginning, because the flat PG, when God gives me something, I can't let go of it. And this is coming from God. When there is something put out there like the flashlight, and all they keep saying is the two flashlights, and they're trying to say that one was Sebastian, one was some perpetrator. I don't buy it. I think one was the step, in my opinion, purely speculation, allegedly, and the second one was the mother with the flashlight. That is my thought. That is what God had brought over me in my heart. I can be completely wrong, and I'll own it. If I'm wrong, I'll come back on your channel, PG, and I will say I was wrong. But I
it's
think,
true. Well, it's true. This, I'm not saying this that the I'm not saying that the stepdad
mm-hmm,
was not there.
mm-hmm,
He could have very well. He could have very well, popped in on them that evening,
mm-hmm.
and very well something could have went down, and very well, that's why him and her talked for 3 full hours once he got back to where he's supposed to be. I
He
don't
could
know.
have he could have talked the 3 hours on the way back to her house.
Well, he would have been pinging, and they would have known.
Right, but they might be not saying nothing right now, right? It's early.
They would have known from his phone pinging
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't at where he's supposed to be. I think that it would be more. It would, if he was there, if he was there that day,
Mm-hmm.
came in somehow
Mm-hmm.
and was happened to be there. I think, and something went down, something happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be more relevant that he talked to her for 3 hours that evening. Sebastian wasn't even there.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian could have been, he could have took Sebastian out of there, and he could be anywhere from that house back to that construction site. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
because
and
we don't know.
this is a guy that works a backhoe.
Right.
So Sebastian may not ever be found.
Yep.
We don't know. We don't know.
No, we don't. No, we don't. This is all speculation. We're just talking about a little
Right.
boy named
Right.
Sebastian.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But
you know,
those flashlights are significant. I'm gonna say it is significant, especially since it was the middle of the night. It was 26 degrees. The mother didn't even say he put a coat on, because that's
you
what I was.
know,
Not a coat, not shoes. Are you kidding?
everything that this young boy has been put through
Torture.
over the last 7 years,
Yeah.
under the thumb of this, of this. In my opinion, this guy is a freaking, he's pathic, and he is a control freak.
I don't
He's
think
a
the mom
bully.
said any better, and I think you said that. I don't
I
think the
I
mom did
really
any
think,
better.
from what I've seen of this guy, he's a bully. He
Mm-hmm.
bullies people, and he's trying to bully JLR, like
Mm-hmm.
like he's some kind of special person.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck is up with these people who, end up having these missing kids, and they act like um it like they're some kind of Hollywood star, and it's a
Right.
privilege. It's a privilege for you to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's a privilege for your ass to be able to talk to us,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't cover everyone's case.
Mm-hmm.
We only cover certain cases.
Mm-hmm.
And if we pick your case up out here, it is a privilege for you to be talking to us,
Mm-hmm.
not the other way around.
And then his whole rant about monetization on JLR, and you can't do this, and I won't let you. If you do that, then you got to put it back into Sebastian. It was all a farce, PG. It was a freaking farce. I mean, it was so apparent what he was doing. And we've been in this too long, PG. I'm not a YouTuber, but I watch everything. I watch it all. You, Justin, JLR, we know how this ends, literally. We know how this ends.
That's probably what he will do. Probably what he will do, Sassy Frets. No doubt in my mind.
What'd she say?
She said, is he going to take attention on other children's cases instead of Sebastian's? Probably. No doubt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely. Our bucket list has holes. I appreciate all that you and the rest of the mods do for this channel. God bless. God bless. And yeah, so I don't know. I
I
you
know.
know I truly I
I
truly
I pray
I,
that he's found alive. I pray Sebastian is found alive. I really truly do. I hold that hope. Only God knows what happened to Sebastian right now.
absolutely.
I really pray for his dad, Seth. I really, really, really do. He's the innocent. As far as victims, I think it's going to be Seth and it's going to be Sebastian, in my humble opinion. And I just really know that what you built on your channel, and I'm so grateful that you took on Sebastian's case, because he does need a voice. Sebastian needs a voice. That boy was, in his stepfather's words, whooped with a belt, took his snakes away, made fun of him, did anything to humiliate this boy that's 15. Nonetheless, being 15 in this country right now is hard enough. And the boy has autism. That breaks my heart. It literally broke my heart when I heard this man just making fun of a child. So that tells you what he saw in his own eyes reflected back on what he was saying to us. That's exactly what he did. He mirrored what he saw in Sebastian, and that is freaking disgusting, PG. Disgusting.
It is. It is.
And
And
my heart breaks for that poor boy because he didn't deserve that. And that mother is no effing better. She's no effing better.
That's true. That's true. And you know, girl, there's a whole lot, you know, there's a whole lot of people, pouring tears for these missing children. There's you know, these people don't understand that, you know, that we get invested in these children's cases because we love these kids. We love these kids and we want these kids to get the justice against the evil beings
Mm-hmm.
that do evil things to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it shouldn't have ever got to this point. Sebastian's case is another case like Summers, where Child Protective Services had an opportunity to step in and make sure this did not happen, but they didn't. They chose to turn a blind eye
I know. It's
like they did on
crazy.
Summer and her brothers so
Mm-hmm.
many times, and this was the end result of it. They've got to stop turning a blind eye and they have to start helping these children who are crying out for help.
And
They've got to start helping them.
imagine if Chris got his daughter back. And just think about that. Imagine if Chris literally got custody back of his own daughter.
That would be his daughter, and he would not do his daughter the way, and he would not allow that woman to do his daughter the way her son was
But
done.
we don't know that. We don't know
Oh,
that.
I'm going to tell you, I do. I do. I know that. I
He's
know
had
that.
5 wives, PG. He's capable of doing anything, I think.
I'm going to tell you, he values what is his. He values
Mm-hmm.
what is his.
Mm-hmm.
He don't value what's yours,
Mm-hmm.
but he will value what is his. Trust me.
I believe it.
And I'm going to tell you, if his wife even looked cross-eyed at his daughter, they'd
Oh
be
yeah, it would be
problems.
all over. Yeah, you're
They'd
right.
be problems.
Yep, you're right.
You know,
You're absolutely right. Yep. Yep.
they would be problems.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
this man has had 5 wives because this man is selfish, self-seeking, self-centered, and he looks at women like taxi cabs.
Mm-hmm.
You could always call out another one.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it
Yep.
just is what it is.
In my day it was called you can find your next man at the bus stop.
I wouldn't doubt if he isn't sitting around laughing saying there's 7 women hanging to every man's coattail.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't doubt, and he's only had 5.
He's a
I
misogynist.
would
That's
not
what he
doubt
is.
if he has not made that statement.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt in my mind. You know,
And there were
it's that's his kind of sinisterness.
yeah.
You
And
ask me.
people before in the chat was like, he's no sir. I won't say his name, so pardon me if you don't like me calling him sir. I don't think he's a sir because sirs have actual respectability on him, but I will not call him his name. So that's why I use sir. Just so anybody out there, because I saw a few comments. The only reason I use sir is because that's the level he thinks he's at, not that I think he's at. Trust me. So I just want to make that clear.
He has a daughter. He has a daughter that the court has already stepped in and said no. He is not
Yes,
going to
thank
be
you,
seeing his
Jesus.
daughter. The court has already stepped in and said no, you will not be seeing your daughter.
Thank you, Jesus.
He thought he was going to get his daughter for
He did.
spring break,
Mm-hmm.
and they let him know. They let him know, no, you're not. Now he says that he hasn't ever had any domestic violence on him, but he has had CPS on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think multiple times, and maybe even with his own daughter, and that's why he's not going to be seeing her. There's something,
Absolutely.
you know, and
Mm-hmm.
from what I hear, Katie's got some
Oh, yes.
shady shit on her as well.
Katie
So,
shit.
you know, that's what I'm hearing.
Yep.
You know, that's what I'm hearing. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight.
All right, my love.
You
Thank you so much, PG. I love you very much. I
know,
love the chat. We all are here for pure intentions for these children that don't have a voice, that nobody stuck up for them. No agency took up for them. Nobody. And Sebastian
absolutely.
is now missing.
And
Like you said, he lost a whole child, and that is Seth Rogers' son,
right.
by the way.
Where's their punishment?
Yeah.
Where's their punishment? They didn't feel that child was important enough, right? Important enough
Mhm.
to keep an eye on, important enough to watch, important enough to do what's right to make sure he was safe
Mhm.
and sound and secure.
Yes.
What is their punishment?
It'll come.
You
It
know?
will. It will come. So I just
Somebody
want to
give
say
me
prayers to
somebody give
Seth.
me the belt. Give me the belt.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Give me that belt.
I just want to send my thoughts and my prayers to Seth Rogers and all the Rogers family because they need our love and they need our support for Sebastian.
Tell Chris he could even put a diaper on.
Yeah. This depends for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris could even put a diaper on, right?
Yeah. And Katie, I hope you happy with the man you
She,
picked
she
to
could put
marry.
one on. She could put one on over her head.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Exactly.
care.
All right. I love you, PG, and thank you
Yeah, I
for
love you
letting me
too,
come
girl.
up. I'm just infuriated like the rest of us. This is crazy. This is just absolutely crazy. And God
Absolutely.
bless Sebastian wherever your little soul is, Sebastian. We love you and we are your friends. Don't listen.
Amen.
You're in peace. You are in peace and you will be found because we have a community behind you now, love.
Yeah. Bucket list has whole set of crusty diaper. Yeah, I have a crusty
I hope
diaper
it's
on her head.
crusty and stinking, but
Right?
I love you. I love the chat. I love you. I'll let you end up. All right. Thanks, PG. Love you so
Love you too,
much.
girl. Good
Bye,
night.
babe.
Absolutely, Lucy. I pray every day for a summer moon Utah Wells to be found. She is not forgotten by any of us. God has her in the palms of his mighty, almighty hand. Absolutely. God's got all of us in the palm of his hand. As I ask every night, please, before I go out of here, please, please, please send those prayers up. Send those prayers up for these missing children. Send these prayers up. Let God know that we are the voice for the voiceless and tell him that you know that through him all things are possible and you know that he can have these children found. He can have these children found if he truly wants them found. And just tell God, hey, could you please let them be found? Because so many of us are praying, so many of us, Father, so many of us are looking for closure. We're looking for closure in all of this, Lord, because we love these children. And all we're asking is for them to be found so they can be laid to rest properly, so that people will know where they're at, and so the family, as for Summer, her brothers, as for Sebastian, his dad and grandparents, the people who truly love him, so that they can get closure. And so all of us can get closure as well in the name of his son, Jesus Christ. So please, please, Father, let these children be found. Amen. And I'm sure God is going to answer. God loves us. He loves us. And from our lips to his ears, through his son, Jesus Christ, he answers our prayers. So please, keep those prayers going up. Keep them going up because these children need us. Sebastian needs us. Summer needs us. Little Eli, 3 years old, he needs us. So please, please keep these prayers going up for these babies. They need to be found. They want to be found. They want to be found. So please pray for them diligently and let God know how much you love him, how much you care about him, and how much you trust in him. Amen. Listen, everybody, pray for one another as well. Pray for one another as well. You know, I don't know if everyone, if you would like for me to put together some of the things that are going on in Revelations and bring it out for you all to see, put a 1 in the chat. I don't want to, bring out Revelations if nobody wants to hear it or see it or listen to it. But if you want to, some of the signs and some of the things that's been going on that is leading up to the end, I will put together and bring it out so you can take a look and understand what is going on. Then definitely I will be getting that together and bringing it out as well, for everyone. I just don't want to bring something out that nobody would be interested in, so, but it is very interesting. It's very interesting. If I get an opportunity, I'll try to get that together. Maybe tomorrow, Sunday. I'll try to get it together. Maybe cover it after we cover the case tomorrow. But absolutely, it's amazing some of the signs that's going on right now, and Jesus is the light of the world, y'all, and Jesus Christ is in. We are all of God's children. We are the body of Christ. We are the beacons in this world, spreading the light to one another. We're the ones that's supposed to be leading others to come to God and do the right things. So, with that being said, make sure you stay on the right path. Don't let all of this out here. Don't let all of this out here make you lower your level to anyone's evil levels. Please don't do that. Stay above, stay with God. Do what it takes to win that white gown, you guys, because that's what this life's really about. Please stay on the right path. Stay above. Stay, no matter what these people are doing, you're better than them. You're better than them when you're refusing to retaliate. You're refusing to lower yourself to their level. Keep yourself above it and stick with God, because that's how you win that white gown. And get your house in order, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of signs coming. There's a lot of signs coming, and you don't want to be left behind just because because you're out here and allowing other people to own your feelings. Don't let nobody own your feelings. Stick with the Lord and do what you got to do. It's okay to be out here and be a voice for these children because they need us. But don't let this evilness sink you. Don't let it sink you down to their level. Stay above it and just know that you're better than that. You're better than that, and that's why you're going to be living forever one day, because you are above it. So keep yourself on the right path, you guys. That's what I ask. PGSL sent you an email. that she would like for you to read. Will do. Will do. I appreciate that. Our bucket list has holes. You are a sweetheart, and I appreciate you letting me know. All right, you guys. I love you. You know PG loves you. I love you guys. And I know you, and I know a lot of you, the biggest majority loves PG. I know there's some in the bushes right now. There's some in the bushes. They don't care much for PG, and that's okay. That's okay. They don't love me because they don't know me. They didn't ever take time to get to know me, or they love me too, right? And I love them. But it is what it is. But I'm going to say good night. God bless. Much love.